So the first thing that we have to do is basically, what is our debt? I feel like too many people are scared to check their bank accounts. Too many people are scared to check their debt because sometimes it can be overwhelming. But if you never check, if you never look, and then it just continues to pile up and pile up to the point that you might even have to file for bankruptcy. So don't just ignore your finances. Learn to like freaking focus on them and be like, again, energy flows where energy goes. So focus on it so we can just get it done. I know it's gonna be hard, you know? I was eating like eggs and spinach for like months, you know? But it's okay, I promise you, it's all worth it at the end. And I'm telling you not this for you, but also for myself, because I'm getting into that season again. 2025 is gonna be heavy on that working my ass off. Okay, but now that we got all the fun stuff out of the way, let's get serious. Okay, let's talk finances, because I feel like this is one of the most important things about 2025 in your whole life in general, because we're always thinking about the good old times and spending the money, but we need to be financial savvy, have financial literacy, be saving for the future while living your motherfucking best life now. So let's dig right in. I feel like if we're gonna talk about finances, we gotta start with, first of all, my first video on YouTube was a finance video about how I paid over $15,000 of credit card debt. And first of all, I could not have done it alone. I got to read so many books, including the book called The Secrets of a Millionaire's Mind. And at that time, I was really getting into Dave Ramsey and his 7 baby steps to get out of debt and financial freedom and financial literacy. So shout out to him. I remember I got 2 jobs. I was working at the hospital, I had a serving job, and I was like babysitting / like teaching people because COVID was going on and they needed someone to like help their kids with homework. So I was doing that on the side. And how can I fucking forget? I was working at Walmart. Your girl was hustling. That was the year that I made the most money. I paid off my car. I paid off all my debt. I saved over $40,000. It was 10 out of 10. Baby, that year was one of my best financial years ever. And mind you, if you're starting on your financial goal right now, or if you are restarting on it, like, baby, no shame in your game, okay? Like, cause I'm restarting right now. I was in a car accident and my paid off car got totaled. So I had to buy a new car. And in that time, the economy was horrible. So I got this like used car for $40,000, you know, for a Camry. I was pissed, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I also started a business, the Create app. I'm super excited for it. But at the same time, creating an app, creating a business costs moolah, dinero. So I've spent over 20 grand on that. So let's start at the beginning. How are we getting to this debt-free mindset and debt-free in our bank account as well? We're gonna start with 7 Baby Steps by Dave Ramsey. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put the link below. Baby, it's free, so you don't need anything to get started. The 7 baby steps are, number 1, start an emergency fund. And this emergency fund is a $1,000 emergency fund. So I know sometimes we think we're too broke to start it. Just save $1,000. And then number 2 is focus on debt. Okay, so after you have those $1,000 saved, I already have more than $1,000 saved in my emergency fund. So what I'm gonna do is start in baby step number 2, which is focus on debt, which I have some debt right now. After you finish paying off your debt, you're gonna focus on increasing and completing your emergency fund, which you want to have about 4 to 6 months of savings in your emergency fund. So let's say that you lose your job for 4 to 6 months, you should be able to afford all your living expenses without having to go to a credit card or get some money from someone else. So for me, my expenses are usually about $2,000 a month. So 2,000 times 6, that'll be $12,000 to have a complete emergency fund. Step number 4, save for retirement, which I have opened at S&P 500. And right now the S&P 500 is doing really good. So if you don't have one, I suggest you start. This is money you can take out whenever. It's not like a Roth IRA where you have to leave it there or you get penalized when you take it out too early. So I like that part of a S&P 500. So if you don't know where to start, I would start at the S&P 500. A dummy can do it. Step 5, you can skip this if you want. Save for a college fund for your kids in the future. Step number 6, pay off your house early. We don't gotta do 30-year freaking mortgages around here. And step number 7, build wealth, which is where we all are trying to be. We wanna have generational wealth. We wanna build wealth so we can live the very best life that we deserve. So when it comes to tackling debt, Dave Ramsey always says that we start with the smallest to the largest. So the first thing that we have to do is basically, what is our debt? I feel like too many people are scared to check their bank accounts. Too many people are scared to check their debt because sometimes it can be overwhelming. But if you never check, if you never look, and then it just continues to pile up to the point that you might even have to file for bankruptcy. So don't just ignore your finances. Learn to like freaking focus on them and be like, again, energy flows where energy goes. So focus on it so we can just get it done. I know it's gonna be hard, you know. I was eating like eggs and spinach for like months, you know, but it's okay. I promise you, it's all worth it at the end. And I'm telling you, not this for you, but also for myself, because I'm getting into that season again. 2025 is gonna be heavy on that working my ass off and not too much reward right away. But we need to learn to like have time for that reward. It doesn't have to be right away. So I am writing my debt down with you guys. I have started a business, and creating the app has cost me over $20,000. Over $20,000. Plus taking the summer off to start the business, plus being slow at work and only working one job, plus my own personal things. I had to go to the dentist. I had to get 2 crowns, a root canal, like certain things that have been happening. So I have accumulated a nice amount of debt. A pretty chunk. And a lot of it is from my credit cards because I did use my credit card to start the business. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So I know when it comes to debt, it makes me anxious, but hold on. We're gonna get this under control like that, okay? So my smallest debt right now is Capital One credit card, which is at $5,700. My second smallest is my Wells Fargo credit card, which is at $9,137. My biggest, my monster, is the one that I started my business with, is my Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, and is at a whopping $21,467. I know. I'm also adding my car loan in there, which is $15,590. And then I also have my student loans, which, you know, hopefully they get rid of them, but it's only $5,000. So altogether, if we do the math, my debt right now, as we speak, is $56,655. And I know that sounds very scary when you look at it and you're like, how much money do you even make a year, babe? I think I make like 80,000 a year. And you're telling me, babe, you know, but hold on, stay with me, because we got this. We have a plan. So what you're supposed to do is tackle the smallest debt and pay everything else at a minimum. So all the other credit cards get minimum payments, and then the smallest ones get all your leftover money. That's why I got a second job. So my first job pays for my bills, and then my second job goes straight to debt until you finish paying the smallest one, and then you move on to the bigger one until you get to the biggest one, and then you put all your money into that one. My goal is to be debt-free in 2025. So while we look at my debt, you might be wondering like, girl, how? First of all, don't be asking too much how, because the universe will provide, okay? We don't know the how, we just know it's gonna happen. But we do need to have a plan, right? Because those who fail to plan to fail. So one of the plans is, one, I do have a lot of write-offs, you know, because I do YouTube, I do podcasting. So a lot of the flights that I booked and all that stuff, and starting the business, those $20,000 plus that I have invested into this business, mind you, that is a write-off. Your girl is writing that in there, okay? Because I need some money back, okay? I need some money back. So I'm expecting some money back at the beginning of the year, which I'm using all of it for my credit cards. As well as what I just said, I started my second job. So all the money that I make from my second job, while I try to like pick up as many shifts as I can, go to debt. And then my primary job pays for all of my bills. I also have the pleasure of having my app business as well as me being able to work in the business. So what do I mean by that? As a content creator, that means that I can go and get clients by myself while I'm building the app. So right now I'm charging $200 for 2 hours to help small businesses go to an event for 2 hours, a public speaker, whatever, take content and pictures of them in that event, which is basically what my app is for, but you're gonna find locals in your area. So you can live in Tennessee, LA, wherever you want, and find local content creators. So if I'm charging $200 for 2 hours and I have 20 clients, 200 times 20 is $4,000. If I can do 20 clients in a week, if I can do 20 clients in a week, I can make that happen. If I'm doing that every month, that is $16,000. $16,000 in 1 month. If I keep it up and I do it for 6 months, working hard, that can be 100 grand. So, so between 4,000 and 100 grand that I can make in the next year if I dedicate myself to this and creating content. And mind you, I'm only starting with $200. I am increasing it to $500 to work with businesses and help them show up on social media. And of course, if I increase it to 500, I just need 20 clients to make 10 grand in a month. So your girl is gonna be working. I'm gonna be working my ass off. 2025 is the year that I will work the most I have ever worked in my life. I am gonna be so disciplined. And it starts right now. I just worked 70 hours last week. It starts right now. Next, let's talk about business. So the Create app is an app created specifically for content creators. So think Uber, but for content creators. It helps you find local content creators in your area for your wedding, photography or videography if you can't afford a $5,000 videographer, for an event that you're having, a baby shower, if you have a business, a restaurant, and you need content so you can show up on social media better, we got you. So you can find local content creators in your area through the app, making it easier for everybody to connect and everybody get what they need. Specifically also real estate. Real estate people need content creators to help them, take pictures and videos of the homes that they're trying to sell. When the app launches, which is soon, this month or at the beginning of January, financial wise, when it comes to the app, I do get a 25 commission or profit of whatever you make, just like Uber. So hey, just like Uber, but without you having to use your own gas, having to use your own car, having to pay for your own wear and tear, your tires, all this stuff is 25%, but just for creating content. So let's say that you are charging $100 an hour for an event and you were hired to work there for 1 hour. You would make $75 and I would make $25. But I facilitated the connection. Kind of like on Amazon, if you sell your books on Amazon, everybody knows if you sell your books on Amazon, it's like they take 50%, which is wild, but you get more exposure of your product. One of my goals for the first year of the app itself is to make $100,000 profit. $100,000 profit. That does not include like all the other money that other people are making, So that is my goal for the business, to be able to pay for those $20,000 that I did invest in the business and then reinvest the rest of the money that the business is making to the app so we can make it the best app out there, so we can go into promoting, getting more for the people and making the app better. Mind you, throughout all this, I'm still gonna be working 2 jobs, so I don't have to use the money that I'm getting on the app to pay for my living expenses. Like, I live a very minimalist life, as you can tell. Like, I really don't have a lot in my room. I have a desk, I have a bed, I have a mirror, and I have my computer and my gadgets. But besides that, that's it. Like, I live a very minimalist lifestyle because I'm not where I want to be. So why would I start buying shit for what? I'm not a millionaire yet. So another thing that is happening, I am getting a settlement from my car accident. So we're expecting like 50 grand. So again, those 50 grand I will be using for my debt. But at the same time, I don't want to be reliant, and neither should you be reliant on anything else. Like, you want to still work your ass off for what you want. So I'm still gonna work my ass off to pay those $56,000 on my own. So when those 50 grand come, they go straight to the bank. Okay, straight to the bank, the motherfucking bank, okay? Because we got shit to do. We gotta retire. We got a lot going on, okay? We got a business. We gotta hustle. Hustle, baby. You know who I am. But as soon as I'm done paying off my debt, and then I'm gonna focus, of course, in investing into the business, as well as investing in general, like getting more into investment, getting a financial coach, like where to put my money, definitely adding more money into my S&P 500, learning about stocks and things like that, so I can diversify my portfolio and start saving for retirement. Because your girl's trying to retire by 50. And when I say retire, I always say I want to retire now, but when I say I want to retire now, is I want to retire from doing the shit that I don't want to do. And I understand there's shit that we don't want to do, but still good for us. Like go to the gym. Like no, not that. I'm talking about the shit. Like I'm tired of people. I'm tired of serving people. Like these people be having a fucking attitude. And I ain't got time for that. This guy was coming for me for a fucking Diet Coke. I was like, I will be back with your Diet Coke. And he's like, well, you haven't brought it yet. I'm like, I said I will be back. Did you not hear me? You want to fight me over a Diet Coke? Are you crazy? It's literally, give me patience. God, give me patience. I'm working on it. Let me find it. Let me find it. But this is my 2025 financial goals in a nutshell. And I hope that you are also writing down your goals and take a look at that debt, man. Because I know we don't want to look at it, but it's what we need to do. We need to get uncomfortable. We need to get comfortable being uncomfortable so we can go through and bloom and get to the other side of where we're supposed to be. You know, you don't want to be stuck for the rest of your life. You want to fucking flourish, and you deserve to flourish. So let's get it. Let's put in that work. But that is my 2025 financial plan in a nutshell. Let's move on to my personal goals.